Hey guys, PrinceofMacedon here. We're going to do a commentary video for Total War Rome 2. This is the Pergamon versus Athens battle. I'll be commanding the Pergamons, and my opponent's name is Gibszy, commanding the Athenians. These guys should be friends with each other, but we're going to fight it out regardless. So yeah, I'm using Pergamon. This is a faction introduced by the Sea Colonies Culture Pack DLC, and what I like about these guys is their history. Now, this was not a major Hellenistic state like the Seleucids or the Antagonids of Macedon, but they were still a player in the Hellenistic world regardless. During the Macedonian Wars, they sided with the Romans, and they also sided with the Romans against Antiochus III during the Assyrian Wars. These guys finally gave themselves to Rome. They offered themselves up as a province in 133 BC under Attalus III. And, yeah, they were really buddy-buddy with the Romans, which is why I hate them. Historically, but I think they're cool that they're playable now. So yeah, we're fighting in the Medhlan map. This is my setup here. We're gonna zoom in on the tactical overhead map here. I'm yellow on the overhead, my opponent is red. So I put all my cav on the right, and there's my setup right there. And we won't see my opponent's troops up close, but I'm gonna show you my troops up close because this is a new faction. I'm using 4 units of these light horse. This is not a new unit. But they are light horsemen, and they are Galatian, and a lot of Galatians did side with the, well, they fought with the, with Pergamon, and these are my Pergamon noble cavalry, and these are basically like your companion cav in Macedon, except they don't have the same armor as a companion cav, but they are semi-cheaper, very good unit. That's why I put my general. Then I have these Peltus. This is another exclusive unit for the Sea Colonies Culture Pack. These guys are really baller. Like, these guys have the same range, same melee defense, and same armor as regular Peltus, but everything else is increased. And here's another exclusive unit, the Agema Spears. These are basically like Thurio Spears, but very pumped up. So, they also have extra abilities. They have an Expert Charge defense, and they also have an Encourage ability. So that separates them from Thurio Spears. And here are my Galatian swords. As I said, Pergamon did rely on a lot of Galatian mercenaries. And finally I have some pikemen. I have 3 units of these guys, so I am still rocking out the Hellenistic tradition here. And here's my opponent's setup here. He put all of his cav, he put most of his cav on his left, but he also has some cav on the right. He's going to transfer them later on. But he's going to duke it out with my light horsemen. Here's a charge with his Hippias Lancers, and he's gonna annihilate my my light horsemen upon impact, you can see. But I left my general, who was on top of my Pergamene noble cav. They're gonna charge in as a reserve cav unit, and they're gonna strike terror into these Hippias Lancers. That was quite a good charge, I think. So I tried to raise the banner there, but to no avail. I'm still losing a lot of my units, and I didn't use my what do you call it? My morale thing. Whatever. So, big cav fight on the right, and you can see our infantry is not engaged yet, but my opponent is swinging over some citizen cav. I'm swinging over some foot units, my Galatian swords, 3 of them. And I'm also moving up my pick Peltus. As you can see, they're moving now. But these are my Galatian light horsemen getting butchered here by these Hippias Lancers of Gibszy. So here comes the citizen cav charging into my guys. So I am routing one of his Hippias Lancers. My general's quite resilient here. But yeah, I'm moving up my pick Peltus. I see his unit of citizen cav coming in for a charge. I'm not worried, because regular Peltus can stand up to citizen cav. And not to mention the fact that I'm using pick Peltus. These guys are very elite. So he smacks into my pick Peltus, does nothing to him. Absolutely nothing to him. It should be said that between pick Peltus and regular Peltus, pick Peltus actually have more missile damage. They have more shots per minute, more ammo. Anyways, his Cretan archers are shooting at my guys. I'm shooting back, but we just destroyed his citizen cav there, even as they retreated. But I wasn't worried about his Cretan archers shooting at my pick Peltus, because my guys are not soft targets like say javelin men. They have a lot of armor and shields. So from the front, my guys are pretty invulnerable to Cretan archer fire. So we started targeting each other's pikemen instead. I'm targeting his pikemen, I'm destroying them, and he's targeting my pikemen. He's destroying my pikemen. So tit for tat. But there go one of my pikemen units. But don't worry, I'm doing the same thing to his pikes. So I gotta say, these pick peltas, even though they're pretty expensive, they're over 700. They're 720 cost at the moment, whereas regular peltas are 460, but they are quite worth it, I think. So there go one of his pikemen too. As I said, tit for tat. And also, they do carry more ammo than regular peltists. Look at that destructive barrage right there. I'm quite happy with this unit. I want to explore them more though. Yeah, they do have short range, but yeah, they're pretty much invulnerable to archer fire from the front. Not completely invulnerable. Anyway, here's the fight on the right. He brought over some infantry too, when I brought my infantry over. This was the big cat fight at the beginning, but now it's including a lot of infantry as well. And so, my general is still here. He's quite resilient. He ends up killing over 100 units, but he is surrounded now, unfortunately. And here are my Gema spears. I got them behind his units right here, and I'm using my spears, or my javelins, to toss at the backs of these guys right here. Those thorax swordsmen. As I said, a Gema spear are basically like very elite versions of the Thurio spear, so they do carry throwing javelins here. And I wanted to discard my javelin before I charge into those guys. And see my general, he's starting to break a little bit. He is going to last a little bit longer though. But as I said, they're basically like companion cav, the companion cav of Macedon. Unfortunately, they got caught up in this kind of fight, which didn't really, you know, suit my abilities as a noble cav unit. So anyways, he starts rushing up with his pikemen. I just pull my pick peltas back. And he's got some units charging at my Gema spears. I'm just getting outflanked with my Galatian spears. You can see me moving my guys around right there. See that? So I like this overhead because it shows what's happening in the infantry fight right now. And now here's my other unit of a Gema spear. Remember, I have two of these Gema spears. So the one on my left is now taking part in the combat, and they are throwing their spears now. And you can see my pick peltas in the back. They still have some ammo left. And we are tearing up this unit of pikemen right here. Of course, he's doing the same thing to my pikemen as well. On the very left, my opponent is rushing up his other infantry units, as you can see right here. This is the very left. That's where I have my Gema spear unit and my other half of Galatian swords. And I'm moving back my pick peltas at the moment. So these are my Gema spears. Going at it with his guys. And there's a nice look at my opponent's mercenary Thracian warriors hacking at my Galatian swords as I pull back a little bit. I wasn't retreating, but I was trying to redeploy them elsewhere. But if you look in the middle right there, I'm about to come from behind on his pikeman, so he's gonna turn his pikeman around. And I got my pick peltas ready to strike from the other side. So pick peltas, once they're out of ammo, they can still fight with up close too. So I think they're a very useful unit in my opinion. So this is the fight I was talking about, where I charge from behind on his pikemen, and from the other side, here come my pick peltas. Check it out, guys. Like, they're on the verge of routing anyways, but still. I just wanted to make sure I finished those guys off. And I got more pick peltas coming from the other side of those pikemen right there. See that? So I think this is a pretty nice look at the pick peltas, showing off some of their abilities. Anyways, my opponent's charging in with his cav against my pick peltas over here. I wasn't too worried because those are depleted citizen cav, and they're going up against pretty heavily armored pick peltas. And of course some of my Galatian swords were nearby. So he charged into my pick peltas, and he doesn't really do too much to them, to be honest. As I said, pick peltas, quite resilient. Like, if you thought regular peltas were tough, wait till you see the pick peltas. And I'm bringing over a unit of Galatian swords. He won the cav fight on the right, but he lost a lot of his horses too, unfortunately. Whereas most of my horses were pretty cheap to begin with, except for my general unit. And look at this big encirclement of his troops in the middle right here. He tried to charge. He destroyed one of my units, but I took out his pikemen in the middle. And I got more guys in the middle. So his cav is going to bug out of here. He does not want to fight this kind of fight. They were okay with hammer and anvil situations, but not a situation where there's no anvil. And there's the anvil going bye-bye. So I rule the middle right there. And if you look at the balance bar, it's completely favoring me at the moment. So he takes the Citizen Cav, who didn't really succeed in the middle, so now they're going after my Galatian swords over here. He's going to try for a charge, but that Cav unit is really depleted. So my Galatian swords are going to stand their ground and scare off these Citizen Cav units here. But that's a nice look at my Galatians. And as I said, yeah, Pergamon, they did have a nice, selection of Galatians to choose from in their historical armies. Not only did they fight against these Galatians, they also recruited them too. Yeah, historically, the, Pergamon, they did fight against the Seleucids, they also fight against the Galatians, but they also utilized Galatians in their own armies too. Anyways, here's a fight on my very left flank, where I'm up against his Picpeltas, and his Picpeltas are going to cream my guys hardcore. Like, if you look at the stats at the end, they have over 300 kills from his picked hoplites. Sorry, they're not Picpeltas, they're picked hoplites. My bad. So he rules over there where his picked hoplites were, but I'm ruling everywhere else. So though his thorax swordsman getting surrounded from my pikes and my Gema spears and my Galatian swords. So, yeah, I'm just gonna show you this encirclement right here. This complete encirclement of his thorax swords. There they go. So once that unit's gone, my opponent's gonna be down to a unit of Citizen Cav and his unit of picked hoplites, and that's his general unit. So there go his thorax swords, and that frees up a crap load of my units. So I have all these units now going up against his one unit of Cav and his one unit of his one general unit. And my Picpeltas are the first ones on the scene, as you can see in the very back. But I'm going to transfer all these victorious troops over. But might as well start surrounding the general now, just bog him down. And there go his Citizen Cav. So now all my units versus the general. And you're going to see his general is going to last a freakishly long time, unfortunately. Unfortunately for me anyways. If you guys want to do some more research on Pergamon, one of my favorite figures of Pergamon history would be Attalus, the Savior. They called him the Savior because he basically kicked the crap out of these Galatians who had been previously marauding throughout Asia Minor, extorting Pergamon. So this guy came in and he became the Savior. He defeated them. And, yeah. Attalus Soter. Anyhow, this is the fight against my opponent's picked hoplites, and you're gonna see it takes all of my guys to stand a chance against these picked hoplites. And wait till you see the stats at the end of this fight. Those picked hoplites, they kill over 300 of my guys. It's pretty crazy. I feel like these are the guys from 300, where they just take down tons of Persians by themselves. It's kind of like here with my opponent's Athenian picked hoplites taking on my Pergamon onslaught here. So you can see, Hellenistic and Galatian units converging on this one unit of Greek heroes, but they are going to they're not going to last forever. I mean, with these odds, there's no way. So I pulled back one of my Galatian units. I didn't want them to rout and cause a chain rout, so I pulled them back when I saw their flag blinking. So I was playing it safe at this point. Didn't want to screw it up, especially with my first outing as Pergamon. I didn't want to lose at them. So costly victory. Very good game to my opponent, by the way, Gibszy. You can see the damage there. So yeah, I did manage to buy a full slot of units, 20 slots at large funds. I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, look at our pikemen on both sides. They did absolutely nothing in this fight. Also, my light horses did nothing, really. Anyways, good against my opponent.